Morning. Happy Monday. 2-2-2-0. Last week of the month. We got a blue plastic today. I don't know what we did to deserve the blue plastic, but it's a big day. So my experience reading newspapers and my years and years and years and years of veteran experience, blue plastic means two papers inside, usually. We have our special guest here, of course. You saying hi too, sweets? She's just enjoying her milk down there. We'll bring her up later. But what I was saying is the plastic means there's going to be, if I'm correct, which I typically am, there's a Philadelphia Inquirer and there's New York Times. We're going to put the New York Times to the side, as we do. And what we're going to do is get started on the Inquirer all the way around. Did you have a good weekend? I meant to ask. Well, it was enjoyable? Good. I don't know. I hope that it was enjoyable. Mine was fine. And it's good enough. Now here we are on Monday, and trying to get you started off on a fresh week, the fresh read, fresh mindset. Seize the day, as they say. And to that end, we're going to get started separating sections to get this thing moving. You think so? Front section. Got your show on over here. I don't know what it's called. It's about these like big wheel trucks driving up and down the street. These big tires. About blazing or something. This isn't typically on our roster, but seems to be the 7 a.m. show on Nick Jr., so that's kind of how we roll. We just kind of throw on Nick Jr. Whatever they want to show us is what we watch. The region today. Business. Today's business section. Right, Grace? Okay. In sports. I'm kind of smirking because I'm looking at this picture of the Flyers. I'm just realizing, I'm just kind of recalling how shellacked they got by Bruins again. We'll just jump right into that, but listen, they were missing half their team. Not half their team. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but they're missing, many of their scorers. THRU, Voracek, Konechny, Lindblom, Bleem, whatever. I know his name. I'm just being smart. I'm just being a smart aleck. It's going to be hard for them to put goals in when they have no offensive players, really. But Carter Hart, what's going on, buddy? That's 7 goals in? Yeah, that's 6 in. They brought Brian Elliott in. He let in 1, but still. Right, so they lost the Flyers 7-3. And then the Sixers, maybe like a half an hour earlier in the night, last night, lost to the Raptors. So it was back-to-back losses. The Flyers game ended too late for coverage for this edition, it appears. Sixers game, no. Sixers game actually is covered in here. 110-103. They'll play the Raptors again, actually, tomorrow night, 7:30, Grace. Their headline here by Keith Pompey is Raptors stifle 76ers Embiid in Florida. 76ers did something Sunday night that hadn't happened since December 26th. They went into the Amalie Arena to face a Toronto Raptors team at full strength. The last time that happened was against the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. It was the second game of the season. I think what they mean is at full strength, the Sixers were full strength, not the Raptors. This is, I guess, probably kind of obvious, but just in case you didn't realize that, I kind of lost a lost track, and I had to kind of catch it, figure it out. Sixers had a full complement of players with the return of Ben Simmons and six-man Shake Milton. Still lost. It's funny, on my way driving around somewhere yesterday, I was listening to sports radio, and they had these, like, what do you want, sweetie? They have, like, these ads, for betting now. It's like, it's like everything. You want to say hi to everybody? It's like everything is like a bet. Like, the whole thing's like, bet on this, bet how many points will be scored in the first half. Bet how many points are going to be scored in the first quarter. Somebody's going to have a triple-double, someone's going to have a double-double. Anyway, they had like these commercials. One of them was, got a lock for you, Raptors Sixers. Sixers at full strength with all their starting five, 11-0 this season. Lock it up. Raptors won 110 and 103. Just saying, be careful. If you're going to get dabbling into bets, be careful. It's not always a short thing. It's never a short thing. You agree. So we got the Sixers again. I'm playing, like I said, a couple nights from tomorrow night. Take on the Raptors again, looking for some revenge. Sam Charchidi, kind of getting back at the point I was making about the Flyers not having, many of their star players. His headline is, Judge Flyers went back at full strength. It's been a roller coaster ride for the Fly guys over the past month. So, according to Sam, if you take away the glitz, the picturesque location, and the drones flying overhead to bring incredible footage into your living room Sunday night, this was just another regular season game that can be best described this way. The Flyers are buying time until their real team appears on your flat screen. After 3 game time changes caused by issues with the sun, ice, and Zamboni, the Flyers and Boston Bruins finally met in a made-for-TV outdoor contest held on the 18th hole of a pristine golf course in Lake Tahoe. The Flyers didn't birdie the hole, or even par it. Not even close. Look at Sam. He's clever. He's taking the whole idea that they're playing on a golf course and kind of using some golfing terms, throwing them in there. Son of a good writer there, making the connections. Yeah, but still, they stay competitive, he says, but they didn't have a chance. I mean, they always have a chance, I should say. But, again, I wonder how many goals combined they were missing. Like, that were scored by that group of players. Still managed to put 3 in on the Bruins, though. Moving on, Grace. So we're going to go to pages D2, D3. What are we seeing here? David Murphy, Sixers depth weakness exposed. I've been talking about that a little bit in some of I've been seeing lately with some of the takes, or about how Sixers need to make a move, get somebody that can help with some bench scoring. The name I heard thrown around was Kyle Lowry. I heard his name tossed around. So, I'm not sure if that's what David's getting into here, but if you want to read about his take on how the Sixers' depth is a problem, check out Inquirer.com. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, got a couple became All-Stars, looks like. They're reserves. It's funny, they're picked by the league coaches. Who picked Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons? Doc Rivers. Coincidence. He's going to coach Team Durant, and he's coaching the team. If he wants his guys to be the reserves, I'm sure he had more to it than that, but they're legitimate choices. It's not like they're just homers he picked. All right, now we're going to move to the standings. We're going to do a quick run through here. Sixers 20-11 after the loss yesterday. Flyers dropped to 8-4-3. Flyers will play again Wednesday against the Rangers. 7 p.m. If you're trying to settle in for that game. Trying to turn the page for me. You want to get the weather, I can tell. But this is a hot part of the show. Actually, a cold part of the show. Okay, what do we got? What's that? What's with those sprinkles today? What is that? Rain mixed with snow early. I didn't see any of that out there today. What else are we seeing, Grace? Oh, look, we're going to be getting to the 50s on Wednesday, everyone. Whoa, we got to get out and about on Wednesday. We got to get out and about on Friday, too. Back-to-back sunny days. No clouds. I'm not seeing, when I look at glance at those icons, I'm not seeing any sort of snowflakes all the way till next Tuesday. I am seeing as well a 5:45 sunset today. That's pretty great, right? 15 minutes away to the 6 o'clock hour. Sports and weather finished for Monday. 2-1. Business time, Grace? What do you think? Do you want to do business? And jump to business? Okay, what we got? We got on the front page of business today. Yeah, see a feature piece here on Disney. Disney took a hit during the pandemic, but you want to know from its stock price. Ooh. Disney's showing some resiliency with its stock. Disney share. So here we go. Let me read the first two paragraphs if you're curious about, if you might have some, you might have dipped into Disney stock and you're trying to get a sense of. You probably already know if you're doing well or not, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. Since late October, Disney has been forced to temporarily close its Paris theme park, moved high-profile Pixar release Soul out of battered theaters to less lucrative streaming platforms, and watched its profit over the holidays dwindle from $2.1 billion the previous year to just $29 million in 2020. Yee. The company also opened Disneyland as a vaccination site. Still, with all that in the same period, Disney's share price jumped 58%, hitting an all-time high of $191 last week. It closed Friday at $183.65, more than twice its price of $86 from the first full week of the pandemic shutdowns last March. How do you figure that? Interesting. I mean, you can read more about it. Steve Zitchik, Washington Post writer. Looks like it's a piece that's been, republished here in the Inquirer from the Post. But I'm curious as to how they managed to, not only keep people's beliefs high in the company, but like double down on the company's strength and, more than double their stock over the year. People love Disney. I mean, it had to do with Disney Plus. Maybe that's my guess. And he shows some pictures here of the Mandalorian, Disney theme parks. Mickey Mouse waving. Maybe that's what they're trying to suggest by choosing those images. Comics. We don't read those. We do read. This is everybody's. It's just an exciting moment for all of us. All right, Grace, we're going to see what Caroline has to say. Caroline has to say about this question. This person's question about their lives. Yeah. So this person says the headline they choose is "It's not the grandchild's fault." So my question is, whose fault is it? Maybe Caroline will shed some light on the whole scenario for us if we just get to reading the article already. Okay? That means get to it. Get to it, Dad. I wrote in for advice on how to disengage gently from our granddaughter, whose activity level overwhelms us. My husband and I have mulled over your and other suggestions. Water parks and the like have too many people, too much noise, too much motion. We are academics and introverts. Crowds and noise drain all the energy out of us. At a Smithsonian years back, the crowds, colors, random motion, and the noise made me shut down. First dizziness, and then nausea, then I fainted. Airports and subway systems are also a problem. This started when I was about 12, so it's lifelong. I'm already kind of leaning towards, like, you might want to get some help there. You might want to look at an anxiety workbook, maybe. Go talk to someone. But I don't want to judge. Let's just keep going. We think we did a good job raising our child, gave him an excellent education, etc. But we must turn ourselves inside out, trying to deal with a grandchild whom we find exhausting. Can't we be happy and content with the occasional photos? You know, this is like the second article, Grace, in like second question in a couple weeks where we've heard from a grandparent that just really isn't a big fan of their grandkids. Let's see with Carolyn harkens back to that answer, get some inspiration, sprinkles it into this answer. You know, she comes straight up with a brand new thing. Let's see. Answer. Carolyn says, I struggle to think of anyone who has worked so hard to get the answer they want. You don't want to spend time with this grandchild, so own it. Tell your son you realize her high energy is not the child's fault or his, but you're just not physically up for it. Or again, get creative. Figure out quiet places that give this child room to run, tire herself out, and settle down. You can even bring your son into the conversation. Quote, hey, son, we're overwhelmed by this, which is obviously not your kid's fault. Can you think of any quiet places to park ourselves while she runs around? If you want nothing of your grandchild except photos, then don't expect ever to be close to that grandchild, and possibly not your child anymore, depending on your grace, humility, and flexibility in addressing this. Yeah. But see, this is why sometimes you gotta dip into the reader's thoughts, because Carolyn, sometimes she gives her answer. Fair enough. And then she says, hey, readers, what do you think? Like, throw me a bone. Let me know if there's anything I might have missed. You know, any supplemental advice you want to share. Even though you're not a licensed advice columnist, maybe I'll print it. So the first person says, where I was going, reader's thoughts, first person. Sounds like grandma has a sensory processing disorder or anxiety disorder, not introversion. Children's play areas and museums have sensory days with muted lights and sounds. Large open public parks might work too. So, wasn't totally off base. Thank you, Carolyn. Now, let's check out a bogus scope. Or potentially less bogus. We never know. It could be somewhat related to something happening in real life, or it could just be like pulled out of thin air and just tossed into the newspaper. We'll find out. Madeline Aslin, Scorpio. Whoa! 5-star day, Scorpios. Get excited. 5-star day. Any other 5-star days? I'm just going to... Normally, I don't touch on the other signs, but I will look for 5-star days right now. Just to... Sagittarius, you got one. Taurus, you got one today. Virgo. Cancer. That's it. That's it. Scorpios is you'll be inventive, communicate well, and can initiate improvements at work. Your willingness to experiment impresses the right people. Specific potentials come to light. Ooh. Share scientific and metaphysical concepts. I agree with that response, Grace. Scientific and metaphysical concepts. Let friends know and celebrate a day well done. Okay. Do I need to know, like, periodic table today? Is that my plan? We'll be walking around talking about helium and, I don't know, baronium? Is that a chemical? I just make that up. All right, well, we're done with this Scorpio and the horoscope. Some of you got 5 stars out there. You better take advantage of that today. It doesn't happen every day, those 5 stars. You know what I mean? All right, Grace. Where are we at now? What are we doing? We at the region? Okay. Region! Thinking about the region, I noticed right off the bat, because I've been kind of looking at this story a little bit myself. It's a sad story of this young kid who shot up this bowling alley in East Norton. Police say a 17-year-old wanted for the shooting. He's from Delaware County. He's accused of firing a gun 15 times inside a bowling alley, killing 1 and injuring 4. If anyone saw this, local news here. As many as 75 patrons were there on Saturday when the shooting took place. This is an Andrew Maycuth and Valerie Russ piece, staff writers for the Inquirer. Police on Sunday were hunting for a 17-year-old from Delaware County who they say entered a busy East Norton bowling alley on Saturday night, shot and killed 1 man, and wounded 4 others as patrons ducked for cover. Hey, you want to go play with your buddies over there? Give it a shot. If you want, come on back and we can hang out some longer. But for now, let me see if you can hang out with your buds. I got your show on too. Paw Patrol's coming on soon. Paw Patrol. Be there on the Dubo. Based on surveillance video, officials said the suspect, Jamil Barnwell, appeared to target the victim, Frank Wade, 29, of West Philly, just minutes after entering Our Town Alley bowling lanes on the 2900 block of Swede Road at 6:39 p.m. So it appears like it was a targeted hit then, what the police are saying. Right. Barnwell arrived with 2 other men and handed his cell phone to one of the men who accompanied him before his group got into an altercation with Wade and his party, Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin R. Steele said in a news conference Sunday. Quote, the defendant pulls out a gun and starts shooting, Steele said. He fires 15 times. He also shoots Mr. Wade while he's on the ground. Police recovered 5 projectiles, 1 in the ceiling and 4 in the floor. 4 relatives of Wade's, who Steele said were brothers, cousins, and nephews, were injured. At the time, 50 to 75 patrons were in the bowling alley. Shoot. Sad story, sad situation. Barnwell, who police say lives in East Lansdowne, has been charged with murder and reckless endangerment. You want to come back up? We need to get this man off the street, quote, and we say armed and dangerous because he fled with the gun that he used in this murder, Steele said. You want to hang out some more? You didn't want to play with your guys? You wanted to be up here with me? Okay. I can understand that. That's really tough. It is really a shame. I hope they catch him, bring him to justice, rightful justice. 4 injured men was Yanir Brooks, 21, shot in the leg, Samir Jones, 31, shot in the leg, Robert Oliver, 26, shot in the back, and Amir Simmons, 19, shot in the abdomen. Another piece here on the front page is another sad kind of piece. No arrest yet in baby's death. Police say the 18-month-old was beaten, but her family is left with wanting to find out more. When Michelle Rice talks about Liza Thomas, the youngest of her 10 grandchildren, she smiles as she recalls the animated conversations the 18-month-old used to have on her toy cell phone. What's up, sweetie? Oh no, is this going to be a meltdown? It was a Christmas gift that Rice gave the child that lights up when numbers are touched. Quote, you just going to be on the phone all day? Rice said she asked the girl. Then her voice cracked and she began to cry as reality overtook the memories. So what happened to this young girl? Been more than a month since Rice got an early morning phone call from relatives telling her that Liza died in a cramped second-story apartment with broken windows where she lived with her mother. This is a Mensa M. Dean piece, staff writer. If you want to look at more of that and see more of the details as to what happened to this infant, this child. Take a look at it, though. It's cute. Hug your children tight. I don't know what happened here, but whatever it is, it's a tragedy. What is it, sweetie pie? What do you want to do? You want to... Alright, well, I'm going to just go let you vocalize, and I think you're trying to say, get to the OBITS, Dad. And learn more about people and give them some respect. Oh, here's one nice picture of that young girl. Here's her playing with her cell phone we were just hearing about. And clothes that lights up. Oh, here she is. All right. Who else do we want to wish peace and love? Who else do we want to wish peace and love today, what is up? Yee. What's going on, sweetie? You want to go try to play some more now? Let's try for a second round. Round 2 playing time. Look, all you guys are over there. They're all waiting for you. They're like, come over here and hang out with us. I'll be cutting this one short. I don't know. Monday's reads tend to be a little bit antsy. A little predictable. Quickly want to just give these people some love. Scott Brunetto, rest in peace. Elaine Caulfield, 95, rest in peace, Eileen. Take a look at them yourself here. Think about them. Recognize them. All right. Moving on here from the OBITS. I'd like to spend more time, but my co-pilot has other ideas. I'm gonna quickly mute myself just to see what I can do here, and then I'll rejoin you. I'm gonna be cutting this one short, people. This is the first daily newspaper reading. I'm gonna cut it short. Can't find anything to console my child right now. This is the beauty of being live. You see, this is what it's all about. This is the. You play with your guys? They're all up there. Front section. Can we power through it while my child kind of does her thing? That's okay, sweet. Look, I got your show over here. I got Blazing the Monster Trucks. I think that's what it's called. I don't know if that's what it's called. Look, I got the front section. Isn't that exciting? I got the front section. Republicans apparently won out, Grace. Since the Capitol attack, the party defections are up. Taking a break. I just had to get a quick passy. Sometimes you just need a pacifier, and it sometimes works, sometimes not. Right now, we're in a tenuous state of calm, so let's just try to move to the front section. Thank you for your patience. It's part of the show. It's part of the charm of the show. I told you this before. I mean, it's part of the way it works. You know, sometimes you get calmer reads, sometimes you get a little bit feisty reads, sometimes you get, you don't know what. It's topsy-turvy. It's a glimpse into the morning of an individual in the world reading the newspaper with children. It's what you signed up for. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of, seen some pieces on this analyzing this situation. Kind of looking at their power grid, what happened there. A lot of talk about how opposition to regulation might have created some faults. So, if you want to read more about that, I've seen kind of that angle of the story, several different takes over the past couple of days. Different newspapers and online outlets kind of going into that. So if you want to read more about it, this is an Associated Press piece. Noman Merchant is the writer. You all right? Now you're doing better? Got your buddies now? Got your pacifier? All right. We might have made it through that. Let's knock on wood. And more about the story of people spend a lot of money, or getting charged a lot of money for electricity bills too. It's like this person was charged $17,000. Ooh. You can read more about that as well if you want to read about energy bills that people have incurred because of the situation in Texas. Yeah, this front section is kind of a lean front section today. It gets us right to the letters and op-eds, where we do our last special feature of the day, and that's today's letter. What's today's letter? For those not avid followers of my program, first, shame on you. Second, today's letter is when I look at the headlines for each of the letters that were published in the Inquirer, that were sent in by average folks. I read their names, and I say, which one of those am I going to read to the universe? First is Bravo Toomey by Daniel J. Hafferty, a former CEO of the Independence Health Group in Ardmore. That's option 1. Option 2, American Exceptionalism for Real, Larry Skiver Delran. Demolition Review Needed, Nancy Pontone out of Philly. And a problem with pre-canvassing, Rich Gorelli, Muriel McCarthy, Sharon Strauss, and Gloria Gilman, Philadelphia. 4 people wrote that letter. So my guess is Rich took the first 2 sentences. Muriel said, I got the next 2. In came Sharon with the next 2. Gloria finished it out. That gets to me disqualified just because 4 people had to write a letter that's a column long. So I'm going to move on to somebody who wrote one by themselves. Let's see what this American exceptionalism for real is. Let's see what Larry Skiver from Delran means by that. Okay. While I was watching coverage of the Mars rover landing Thursday afternoon, I was struck by the professionalism and the brilliance of the diverse group of engineers and scientists who managed this complicated project. No other country in the world could have done what this group did. I hate to say this, I hate to be a downer, but didn't 2 other countries do the exact same thing? Didn't they land stuff on Mars? Or are they just circling Mars and looking at it with their telescopes with a satellite? I mean, I'm willing to be proven wrong if we were the only country that landed something on Mars, but if 2 other countries did as well, I think it was China and Russia. Might be a little off base here, Larry, but I'm going to look into that. This is real American exceptionalism on display, not the mindless and fake chest-thumping kind that's been on display for the past 4 years. As a country, we can take enormous pride in our ability to do great things when we work together with a oneness of purpose. This is an important lesson that all Americans will be wise to learn. I don't disagree with this sentiment, Larry, at all. I mean, I'm all for, trying to keep America strong and successful, but I just don't know if we only wants to land something on Mars. I appreciate the sentiment and the optimism, the call for oneness. That's the one thing I like about it. A oneness of purpose. A lot of things, a lot of issues going on right now. Many issues going on out in the world. Climate change, school, you name it. Many, many things that we could all come together as one and try to solve. And then you have your, I'll just show you real quick your featured op-eds here on this page, and then you can just choose which one you might like to read. You have nursing homes still deserve better a year into the pandemic. Black futures limited by racist housing policy. And then, is that Pat Toomey? He wrote a letter in today. Yeah, U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. He gets a byline. So he wrote in, "This is why I voted to impeach Trump," which many may be interested in reading. And I can read the first 3 paragraphs, maybe 2. And then we can be done. Just see what Pat Toomey has to say about his vote. I was one of the 74 million Americans who voted to re-elect President Donald Trump. That's a bold first line. It gets you. It's a good intro right there, Toomey. Last Saturday, I voted to convict him on the House of Representatives articles of impeachment. Here's why. First, I believe the Constitution's text, context, and precedent authorizing the impeachment trial of a former president. And he goes into Article 1, Section 2, and what that grants the House. He goes into his rationale. For me, the question was, did President Trump's post-election behavior constitute, quote, high crimes and misdemeanors? That was supposed to be the question for everybody, but I'm glad you listened, thought about it. But media bias and democratic hypocrisy do not excuse President Trump's conduct after the lost 2020 election. By November 7th, it was clear that absent major reversals in several states, Joe Biden will be the next president. Immediately, President Trump pursued his legal challenges to those results in all of the swing states where we narrowly lost. I publicly supported his right to do so. He requested 3 recounts, all confirmed the loss. He filed dozens of lawsuits, but judge after judge rejected his claims of fraud for lack of evidence. All right, so it looks like Toomey is just trying to kind of do a justification. In a way, maybe he's even trying to do one of those, hey, please, people, my constituents, whomever, please stop hating on me. Please stop sending me mail and bad emails and calling my office and leaving negative, insulting messages. Here's why I did what I did. I don't know if it's going to help, but if you want to see his rationale, whether you're a Toomey supporter or a Republican or a Dem who's just curious to see what his take is on that decision, Inquirer.com. Whoa, we made it. I tell you, that was a tough one. I mean, it was good. There's a lot of going on. It was like, woo, woo, woo. There's a lot happening. So I hope that you were able to follow us. You got a little bit of something out of this. You got to pick up your own paper and read through it in quieter pace if you'd like to really dive in. I'm just trying to give you kind of an overview, touch on this and that, maybe do some entertaining, get you woken up, get you ready to start your day. I hope that I accomplished some of that today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.